Here we have the inside of the Elddis Envy 135. If I firstly move to the main control panel, I can turn the 12 volt on by flicking the master switch just here. We will then get a readout of the voltage of the leisure battery just here. You will see the majority of the lights have come on. These can all be individually turned on and off on their own switches. And then we also have this switch just here for lights, and it will just do the light above the mirror and the top lighting just up here. We then have awning light on and off, and then water pump on and off. The water pump needs to be on so we can get water out of the taps, flush the toilet and fill the boiler if it's been drained down. Whenever the pump is running, green light will illuminate to let you know. The red light above will illuminate when the grey water tank needs emptying. And to gauge how much fresh water is in that tank, we just go by the water gauge just here in blue. Just hold down and then you will be able to see how much water is in the fresh tank. Below that is the control panel for the whale heater and hot water. So you'll see we have water heater and heating, and as I press this button you'll see it goes over a series of icons until it eventually ends back up at off. So if we start with the first icon just here, this is the boiler's frost protection mode, so it will just keep a low temperature in the boiler to avoid any frost damage occurring in cold climate. After that we have a single wavy line, and wavy lines represent mains electricity, so we would now be using main supply using about a kilowatt. We then have two wavy lines, so main supply using about 2 kilowatts. A little picture of a flame, so if we have no main supply we can heat hot water on gas, and whenever we're using gas a little flame will appear to let you know. And then lastly we have dual fuel mode, which is very handy especially in the colder months of the year, because this will get you up to temperature really quickly if you have both power sources available to you. So we have a mixture of gas and mains electricity at 1 kilowatt and a mixture of gas and mains electricity at 2 kilowatts. And again, because we are using gas, once the boiler has lit, a little flame will appear just where my finger is here. If we now move to the heating, again you'll see as I begin to press the button we scroll through all the icons again until again ending back up at off. So again we have main supply, this time using about 500 watts. We then have main supply using about 1 kilowatt, and then main supply using about 2 kilowatts. So again, this is just for depending on if you're on a low amp site to try and avoid tripping. We have a little picture of a flame, so if we don't have main supply we can run off the gas. And then we have dual fuel mode with gas and mains electricity at 1 kilowatt. Control your temperature on your plus and your minus. And again, once the unit is consuming gas, flames will appear. So as you can now see, both have now lit and are consuming gas. If there is a problem with either the water heater or the heating, red exclamation marks will appear where my finger is. So if it's a water heater problem, just here, and if it's a heating problem, just here. To establish what the problem is, if you've got a red exclamation mark on your water heater, just press and hold the tap just here and you'll get a series of little red lights appear, and then within the handbook it will let you know what the problem is. And if it's a heating issue, obviously hold the heater, and again little red lines to let you know what the problem is. If it's something relatively basic that can be easily rectified, all you then need to do once rectified is reset the control panel. And the way we do this is, if we have a red exclamation mark for the water heater, just hold the water heater button in and then press the plus at the same time. And obviously if it's a heating issue, hold and hold. If I now move along, we have the gas rings and the electric hot plate. To operate the electric hot plate, just operates here and the red light will come on to let you know it's in operation. This will only work when the motorhome is connected to mains electricity. Next we have the 3 gas rings, and all we need to do is just push in, twist and then hold the igniter in just down here. Beneath that we have the oven and the grill, and if I now push in to the left, we can fire up the oven, and then if I then push in to the right, we can then fire up the grill. Beneath the oven we have the gas isolation taps for the motorhome. So we have the cooker, hob, we also have the fridge and the heating just there. They're all in the on position, and quite frankly they can stay like that. I always say if you do smell gas in the motorhome, go to the source and turn the gas bottle off. Also in here we have the water pump. Dometic fridge just here. Currently in the off position. If we're connected to mains electricity, we can run it off the main supply by turning to the picture of the 2-pin plug just there. After that we then have a little picture of a battery, and this is 12 volt maintained to keep the fridge cold whilst on the move. It will only work whilst the engine is running. And then lastly, if we have no main supply, we can run the fridge on gas. To light on gas, come across to the temperature control, hold it in and then push the igniter button, and then what we want is this line here to drift out of the white into the green. Once it's into the green, release, and then as long as it stays in the green you know it's lit. If it drops back off, just repeat the process again. It can sometimes take a couple of goes, especially when a new gas bottle has been fitted, as there may be some air in the system. As soon as we now turn it back to anything else, it will then automatically put itself back out again. Travel catch just here, and we can also put the fridge on a jar as well to avoid it going mouldy when not in use. Directly beneath it we have the consumer unit. So we have the individual MCBs just here, they're all labelled up. Then we have the main RCD and the test button just here. So if anything's not working on main supply, just check to see if you've tripped here. Beneath that we have the 12 volt fuses, and again they're all labelled up. So if anything's not working on 12 volt, again just check to see if you have tripped. Microwave just up here, as it says just on the sticker just there. Do make sure that all contents are removed for travel. Again, this will only work when connected to mains electricity. It's just plugged in up here. This is an eco microwave, so you do need to press the eco button first of all to turn the unit on. And then we have quick start, stop, etc. just here. And then we have auto cook, defrost, power settings as normal. Wardrobe just here. And in here we have the solar panel regulator just at the back here. This one has been wired to both the leisure battery and the vehicle battery, and will just charge as required. We then also have in here the television aerial, so the booster for it is just here, on and off just underneath here, and then control the boost just on the inner dial just here. To raise the mast, undo the collar and then just push up, and then get the aerial into the position that you require, and then lock it back into place. Never over tighten these collars because you can split them. The aerial is now sitting in the horizontal position. It can be turned on its side into the vertical for additional tuning if required. All you need to do is just turn the tail just here. Do make sure that the aerial is down for travel. TV points just here. So we have two main sockets, 12 volt socket, and then the aerial fly lead connection point just there. Shower just here. And then we also have the basin, and then the Thetford toilet. So to open to the cassette, just slide the grey lever across just there, and then push the blue button to flush, and then close back up again. If this has been left open and you try to remove the cassette from the outside, it will not come out. So if you do feel resistance, just make sure that nobody's left it open. And then level indicator just here, so this will illuminate when the cassette needs emptying. If I now just remove the bench seat cushions just here, I can now lift up, and you can see we have plenty of storage beneath. This can also be clipped up permanently if a great deal of storage is required, and this part here can be also lowered. All we need to do is slightly take the weight off it and then push in just here and here, and then it will then drop out of the way, as you can now see. And then we can also secure it just on the clip just here. Also underneath here is the gas isolation tap for the boiler. Again, just leave it in the on position, more for maintenance. Smell gas, turn the gas bottle off. And then we also have the location of the boiler. To drain the boiler down for winterization, it's all just done on the yellow lever just here. Before draining the boiler off, make sure that the water pump is turned off, and then flap across like so to drop all the water out of the boiler. If you are fully winterizing it, I always suggest that you also go around and open up all the taps in the motorhome as well, because this will help release any airlocks in the system. When it comes to refilling, close the taps, close this tap up, fill up the fresh water tank, turn the master switch on, turn the water pump on, and it will then begin to reprime the boiler. After a few minutes, begin opening the taps. They'll cough and splutter as they force the air out. Once they're running freely on hot and cold, close the taps and then the system will fully reprime itself. If I now come across to the other bench seat and again remove the cushions, you will see under here we have the back of the battery box just there. We also have the main 12-volt fuse just there. To make the rear double bed, it is nice and simple. All we need to do is just slightly lift up and then pull across, and then do the same with the other side. And then once we've done this, we then just need to pop the cushions into place. As you can see, I have flipped the cushions over. It is just down to personal preference. I just find them less bumpy when they are turned over this way. The table just hooks onto this bar just here and is located just by the habitation door just here. To make the single front bed, we need the 2 infills and the mattress topper. Before doing anything else, remove the table. Just need to make sure that everything is fully loosened off, and then just pull out. Once the table has been removed, rotate the driver's seat around like it is at the moment. Both seats rotate round on the levers just here, and then they can then move backwards and forwards on this lever just here, and they are also height adjustable on the levers on the side. Once rotated round, pop this section out like so, and then it's just a matter of adding the infill cushion. Once the infill cushion is in place, then pop this little cushion in here that just fills the dip. Then just remove the backrest just here, and then add the topper. The freshwater tank is just located underneath the travel seats just here. You can gain access to it by unscrewing the cap just here if you want to add any additional cleaning powders to it